Welcome to Simply Explained English. I am Lisa.
And I'm Eric. Do you want to improve your English easily? If so, you're in the right place.
Okay, let's listen to the podcast about how to stay positive and motivated.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Simple Chats in English. Today, we're talking about how to stay positive and motivated. Mark, what do you think?
Hi, Sally. Hi, everyone. First and foremost, setting small goals really helps me. I like goals that I can finish in a day or two. When I achieve them, I feel good, and it keeps me motivated.
I love that idea. Small wins add up and make a big difference. For me, I also start the day with a positive thought, like, today is a new chance. It helps me set the right mood for the day. Do you ever do anything like that?
Positive thoughts are key. It's easy to focus on what's wrong, but just thinking about one good thing, like a sunny day, helps a lot. It could be anything small, like enjoying a good cup of coffee. Little moments matter.
Exactly. I even write them down sometimes. Seeing it on paper reinforces the feeling. I feel like keeping a journal really helps keep me on track, especially on tough days.
That's a great habit. I think I should start doing that too. I also find breaks super helpful. When I feel stressed, I stop for a moment. Just a quick walk or some deep breaths. It clears my head and helps me reset.
Same here. It's amazing what a small break can do. Sometimes I'll just step outside for 5 minutes. It makes a world of difference. Oh, and I also keep my workspace tidy. A clean space keeps my mind clear, you know?
Absolutely. A tidy space means a tidy mind. I also turn to music. Upbeat songs help me get back into a positive mood. And sometimes I dance a bit. It's fun and helps a lot. It's silly, but it works.
Dancing is a fantastic idea, Mark. Music really does lift your spirits. I think finding what makes you happy, whether it's music, cooking, or chatting with a friend, is crucial. I know some people love baking and others just love calling a loved one. It's all about finding your own way.
For sure. Everyone has their own thing. Staying positive isn't about ignoring challenges. It's about focusing on what you can do. Small actions make a big difference.
Totally agree. And positivity takes practice. It's not always natural, especially on tough days. But the more we practice, the easier it gets. It's like training a muscle. Over time, it gets stronger. And on those bad days, even the smallest effort can change everything.
You're right, Sally. Everyone has tough days, but remember, every cloud has a silver lining. It's important not to get stuck in that mindset. Taking action helps change how we feel, even if it's just a small task or talking to someone. The key is to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be a big move. Even a small step forward can make a difference. I like to set little rewards too. If I finish a task, I reward myself with a small treat, like a nice tea break. What about you, Mark?
I do the same. It could be something as simple as watching an episode of my favorite show or eating a piece of chocolate.
Yes, it's important to find balance in your routine. Stick to your plan when needed, but also know when to take a break.
I totally agree, Sally. Remember that. Every small step matters, and staying motivated is all about consistency. You can do it.
Absolutely. Remember, everyone, even the smallest effort can lift your spirits. Stay positive and stay motivated, everyone. Bye.
Hey Lisa, what did you think about the episode today?
I really liked it, Eric. I especially liked the idea of rewarding yourself with small treats.
Yeah, me too. I think our listeners will find those suggestions really helpful.
Me too. Okay, well, let's have a look at the words today.
The first word today is tidy. Then we will continue with first and foremost and to ignore, then to stick to. And the final one is every cloud has a silver lining.
Let's start with the first word.
The first word is tidy.
Tidy.
First, let's hear how it is used in the podcast.
And I also keep my workspace tidy. A tidy space means a tidy mind.
Tidy is an adjective, and it means something that is neat and in order. For example, when you clean your room and put everything in its proper place, your room is tidy.
Ah, I see. So it's when there is no mess around. You could say, my desk is tidy.
Exactly. Tidy can describe not just rooms, but other places too. Your garden, kitchen, or even your car can be tidy if it's neat and well organized.
Right. And it's worth noting that tidy is a word we use in everyday English. It's casual and friendly, so you can use it with friends or at work.
Good point, Lisa. Now, let's look at the opposite of tidy. The opposite is messy. So, if your room has clothes on the floor and books are everywhere, you would say, my room is messy, but after cleaning, it becomes tidy.
Here's another example. Sarah always keeps her desk tidy at work so she can find things quickly. This shows that being tidy can help everybody stay organized.
That's a great example, Lisa. Let's talk about grammar for a moment. The word tidy can also be used as a verb. For example, you might say, I need to tidy my room. It means you make your room clean and in order.
Yes. And if you're doing it right now, you would say, I am tidying my room.
Perfect. So, listeners, tidy is a very common and handy word to know.
Okay, well, that's all for the word tidy. Let's move on to the next word, Eric.
The next word is first and foremost.
First and foremost.
Let's listen to how it is used in the podcast.
First and foremost, setting small goals really helps me.
Lisa, have you heard this phrase before?
Oh yes, Eric. It's one of those phrases that makes you sound clear and confident. But what exactly does it mean?
First and foremost is an idiom. We use it when we want to emphasize what's most important in a list of things. It's like saying, most importantly.
So, can we use it when you want to highlight the most important thing in a sentence?
Exactly, Lisa. For example, if I say, first and foremost, we need to be honest, it means being honest is the most important thing before anything else.
I see. It's like saying, first of all, but a little stronger.
Yes, that's right. It's a more formal way to express priority. Let's use it in another example. First and foremost, safety comes before speed in this race. Here, the sentence emphasizes that safety is more important than anything else.
That makes sense.
But keep in mind, it's best for formal or serious conversations. You might hear it in business meetings or when giving advice.
Got it. And what comes after it? Can we just list other things after we say first and foremost?
Definitely. After you say first and foremost, you can mention other important items. For instance, first and foremost, you should study vocabulary. Then, practice speaking and listening.
This is great. Let me try. First and foremost, they are looking for ways to save money.
Perfect. You used it well. Remember, this phrase helps show what's most important, so it gives weight to your point.
Thanks, Eric. That really clears things up. Okay, well, shall we move on to the next word?
Let's do that. The next word is ignore.
Ignore.
Let's hear how Mark used the word.
Staying positive isn't about ignoring challenges. It's about focusing on what you can do.
Ignore is a verb. When you ignore something or someone, you purposely choose not to pay attention to them.
Oh, I see. If someone tries to talk to me and I don't respond, that means I'm ignoring them?
Exactly. Ignoring is always intentional. For example, if someone talks to you and you look at your phone instead of responding, you are ignoring them on purpose.
Got it. But what if I don't notice someone? Because I'm focused on something else. Is that still ignoring?
Good question, Lisa. No, if you don't notice someone because you're busy, that's not ignoring. You just missed seeing them. Ignoring means making a conscious choice not to pay attention.
Oh, that makes sense. So if I don't hear someone call my name, I didn't ignore them. I just didn't notice.
Exactly. Now, let's talk about an example. Imagine you're at work. If a colleague you don't want to talk to walks by and says hello, and you look away and don't respond, you are ignoring them on purpose.
That's a good example. It's like deciding to pretend something isn't there.
Right. Now, let's see when and where you can use ignore. It is a neutral word, so you can use it in formal and informal situations. For example, in a meeting, you could say, let's ignore that detail for now and come back to it later. Or casually, I'm going to ignore my phone and relax.
Good example, Eric. Okay, well, I think our listeners understand the meaning of ignoring well now. Let's move on to the next word.
The next word is to stick to something.
To stick to something.
Let's hear how Mark used the word.
Stick to your plan when needed, but also know when to take a break.
To stick to is a phrasal verb. It means to continue doing something without changing it or to follow a plan, rule, or path.
So, if I'm following my diet plan without making any changes, I'm sticking to it?
Exactly, Lisa. That's a perfect example. When you say, I'm sticking to my diet, it means that you follow the plan without breaking it.
Can we use it in other contexts too, like at work or with study habits?
Absolutely. Let's look at another example. Imagine you decided to study for 2 hours every day. If you follow that plan and don't skip any days, you can say, I stick to my study schedule.
That's really useful. Another example, Eric?
And here's another example for work. If a team decides to follow a specific strategy for a project, if someone suggests changing the plan, they might say, no, let's stick to our original strategy. Now, a useful grammar tip. To stick to is often followed by a noun or noun phrase. For example, you can say, stick to the plan, stick to the schedule, or stick to your goals.
That makes sense. Can we use stick to in both casual and formal situations?
Yes, to stick to is flexible. You can use it in formal situations, like, we should stick to the agenda for this meeting, and in informal situations, such as, I need to stick to my budget this month.
Perfect. Okay, well, I think now our followers understand the phrase to stick to better. Let's move on to our last word.
The last word is, every cloud has a silver lining.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
Now, let's see how this word is used in the podcast.
Everyone has tough days, but remember, every cloud has a silver lining.
It is an idiom. It means that even in a bad or difficult situation, there is always something good or positive that can come from it.
That's right. It's like when you have a really bad day, but then you learn something important from it. That learning is the silver lining.
Here's another sentence. Sarah didn't get the job she wanted, but she found out that the company wasn't right for her. So, every cloud has a silver lining. This means that even though Sarah was disappointed, there was a positive side to the situation.
Good example, Eric. Here's another one. If you get stuck at home because it's raining, you might feel upset that your plans are ruined. But then, you realize you can relax with a good book or spend time with family. The silver lining here is the unexpected quality time.
Now, let's talk about when and how to use this phrase. You usually use every cloud has a silver lining when you want to remind someone to stay positive or look for the good in difficult times.
That's a good tip. Is this idiom used in formal or informal situations?
This idiom is neutral, so you can use it in both formal and informal situations. It's common and widely understood.
Great. It's nice to have a phrase to encourage someone when they're feeling down.
So remember, if you face a challenge or something bad happens, try to find the silver lining. It's a good way to stay positive.
Well, that's it for today's episode of Simply Explained English. We hope you found the words helpful and the explanations easy to understand.
Thanks for listening. Keep studying your English
And stay tuned. Bye for now.